Hey guys, today's video will be pretty short and sweet. It is a tag video. This tag was created by Maria or Agapelovegirl. All of her questions plus her video will be down below in the description box. I also saw some other creators I really love do this tag. Theresa is Dead, Smokey Glow or Hannah, as well as Lacey of Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. So all of those videos will be linked down below. I just thought this tag was a cool way to look at my collection and my spending habits and what my preferences are when it comes to buying makeup or any other kind of beauty product. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and play along with me. Let me know at the end if you think you're bougie. Am I bougie? Let's have some fun and get into these questions. Let's go ahead and get into the questions. So question number 1, would you rather buy one expensive / luxury item or buy several items with the same amount of money? I would rather buy that one luxury item versus having several. I believe in quality over quantity. Now, price doesn't always indicate or dictate the quality, but you can kind of safely assume if you pay a little bit more for something, you may get more product. The packaging may be a little bit more durable, things like that where you know it's going to withstand the test of time versus having several that are in cheap plastic packaging or whatever else. So I would rather have that one luxury item. I don't often buy dupes. I rather have the OG. And I feel the same way when it comes to clothing as well. I have one sweater that I may have paid like $60 for versus having 10 that I bought from Fashion Nova. I would rather have that one thing that I know isn't going to get a hole in it. My dog here, what are you doing, girl? You're such a goof. Lucy is a little bit extra needy. I feel like she needs to come up on my lap. You want to come up here? So we're just gonna film like this for a little while until she gets bored with it. Her daddy's not home right now and mommy is, and she's just feeling very needy. I think she's just been kind of sitting by me while I've been filming or while I've been starting my intro, and she usually sits on the bed. So I think she just needs some extra love and attention. So number 2, when it comes to beauty products, do you believe the phrase you get what you pay for? Yes and no. Sometimes, like I was just saying, the whole quality versus quantity thing, but there are times where like I've bought a high-end product and I've had it suck. And then there's also times where I bought a drugstore item and been like, oh my God, how have I gone my whole life without this thing? Like the Catrice Prime and Fine. That far outweighs, it outperforms any like setting spray I've ever tried just to give that glow. Not necessarily to keep my makeup on, but that is like my holy grail. I cannot live without that product. I use it every time I do my makeup and I love it so much. So no, yes, no, sometimes, yes, sometimes it does depend, but not all the time. What's the most expensive beauty item you've purchased with your own money? I had to think about this one and I had to specifically look at my palettes and think about what was the most expensive. I do have the Huda Beauty New Nude palette. I think that's $65. And I also have the Game of Thrones palette. I think that's also the same price. But then I realized there is more in beauty products than just makeup. I have so much hair flying up in my face right now. So then I realized my skincare is pretty expensive. Right now I have a whole bathroom stocked of Drunk Elephant for my long haul series. I think the most expensive there was $90, but I did get it during the VIB sale. I got 20% off. And then I remembered I have some hair tools. So the most expensive thing in the beauty realm that I have purchased is the Dry Bar Wrap Party. That was $165. I will say I don't use it as often as I should for how much I paid for it. I also believed I bought that. I kind of had to go back and look at my order. I bought that last April, and I believe it was also another VIB sale where I got 20% off. But yeah, that is the most expensive product I have. Are you willing to buy products at full price, or do you usually wait for a sale or discount code? It depends. And I know I keep saying this, but if I have, like, say, for instance, the Jackie Aina palette that was just released, I want to buy that palette right away so I can make a video about it right away versus buying it later on during a sale when no one's really searching for the video. I would rather buy that right away so I can talk about it and have a video up right away versus waiting till December to talk about it when no one's really searching for that video. There may be a few people still, but not a ton. I would rather buy that right away. But then when it comes to things that I know I use regularly, like my Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel or any of the skincare I want to stock up on, I always wait for a sale. I said this in my Sephora VIB haul that I last did. There's always Hourglass in there because Hourglass is one of my favorite brands, and it is a little bit more pricey, so I usually wait for a sale to buy those things. And I am very strategic when it comes to my shopping and my spending. I will go in and look at my wish list before a sale happens, probably about a month before, and I will figure out what I want and budget it out that way and kind of pick the best of what like I've been wanting the most or been looking at the most, and then just kind of saving the rest for maybe the next sale. So it is a little bit of both. If it's something that I feel like I need to have right away, or that I'm just like super excited about, or that I think is going to sell out, then I will go ahead and get it right when I can without a discount code or without a sale or a percentage off. But for the most part, I do think there's a lot of things I do wait for. And I also will do things like save my points at Sephora and transfer them and make them into like the gift cards that you can do now. Same thing with Ulta. I save up my points and buy some of those higher ticket items. So it just depends. Number 5, where do you shop for beauty products the most? Ulta, because I work there and I love it so much, but I'm going to go broke. It is ridiculous the amount of money I spend. It is such a trap trying to work there and not spend money. But anyway, even before I was employed by Ulta, it was Ulta. I love Sephora and I love a lot of the brands that they carry. But if it is something, if there's a product they both have, I always buy it from Ulta. I went through when I first discovered how awesome of a loyalty program that Ulta had. When I first discovered that, I went through and took off anything on my Sephora wish list that Ulta carried, and I moved it over to my Ulta wish list because they just have a better points program. Sephora now does have the gift cards you can redeem, but that's fairly new. That's been maybe about a year. Ulta's loyalty program has always been better, and they also have better incentives. 3 times the points, 5 times the points, extra points on this item. Sephora doesn't necessarily do that. I don't know why. I feel like, well, you know what? They just did, when Ulta's doing the 21 Days of Beauty, Sephora's kind of copying right now, so maybe they're starting to kind of learn from Ulta. But Ulta, yeah, they have the better selection. They have more products. They have drugstore. They have salon products. They have hair accessories, personal use items like razors, so they just have a lot more than Sephora. So yeah, Ulta wins. Number 6, how often do you get your nails and or hair done? I don't. I don't get my nails done. I did for a while there. I've said this. I got acrylics for our wedding day, and then I kept them up for about a year. I decided to give them a break, and boy, did I realize just how broken and damaged my nails were. And then I decided to go cruelty-free. It's really hard to find, at least in my area, I couldn't find any salon that had like cruelty-free polish that they used. I tried to look it up online to see if there was any professional nail brands, and I couldn't find the information. I decided to purchase my own at-home system, so I do the Madam Glam gel nail system. It was pretty pricey, and the polishes themselves are also pretty pricey, but it still saves me a lot of money versus going and getting them done, and I couldn't anyway because it's not cruelty-free. I think this year I've had my nails done one time, and that was in February for my sister's wedding. We all went and did them together. I also got a pedicure at that time. I'm petting Lucy, just so you know what I'm doing. I also got a pedicure at that time, and then I've had one other pedicure. My whole family went again, all of us girls. Amanda was home, my sister was home from Miami, and we all went and got our nails done. And a little bit of too much information, I still have the same polish on my toes. I know that's gross. Sorry, I just had to tell you. Too much information. And then for my hair, not as often as my stylist would like me to. She kind of always gets on me because I know I go a little bit too far in between. It's usually somewhere between 2 and 3 months. For having red hair and trying to keep red color, my hair actually really likes being red. I don't have too hard of a time with it, where I know a lot of people, other people say that red fades really fast for them. If I had a different color, like when I had green hair, I had to go a little bit more often than I do. And when I have bangs, I try to go a little bit more often because they get a little bit too long and kind of get in the way, and I won't trim them myself. I'm just a little bit too scared. I do other things to try to maintain my color. I use Overtone. I just started using Care Color is what I also just started using to try to maintain my color at home and keep it looking vibrant. So yeah, not very often, about once every 3 months. Do you prefer long or short nails? Well, here's what my nails look like now. This is probably not the best day to show them because they kind of look like shit, But yeah, they're like, that's like my normal length. My nail beds, I have a hair stuck over here. My nail beds are pretty long and like kind of slim, I guess you would say, and my nails grow pretty easily. So this is about a normal length for me, maybe just a little bit longer. When it comes to having acrylic nails, I did almond shape versus doing like coffin or stiletto. That's just a little bit too much for me personally. If it gets to the point where I feel like I'm having, I hate the feeling. If I have to dig in to a cream and it gets stuck underneath my fingernail, I know you're supposed to do like this kind of motion. I don't like that feeling at all. So yeah, I'd say like a medium, just like natural length for me personally. I do think long nails look beautiful, like aesthetically. I think they look very nice on other people. They're just a little bit too much for me to manage. So I'd say like just like a natural length for myself. Number 8, which makeup brush brand is your favorite? And I realized I haven't been saying the number the whole time, but I'll have it up on the screen somewhere. I'd say, well, I have 3 main sources for my makeup brushes. Sigma, I've started to collect those. I started maybe a year and a half ago. I've kind of purchased them slowly, and I really enjoy their brushes. But I also have just a pretty cheap set that I got from Real Techniques, and I love them. And then the Amazon set I always refer to. I have one of them right here. A Rose Beauty is the brush that I always refer to from Amazon. And then the other brush I have sitting here, I'm about to do a makeup video tomorrow, so I have all my makeup and brushes out. This is from Anastasia, the number 12 brush that I use with my dip brow. So yeah, I guess my makeup brushes are kind of like in the mid-range, not super high-end. When you get up there, a lot of times that's animal hair brushes, and it's from a lot of the more prestige kind of brands that are the luxury makeup, and they're not cruelty-free, so I wouldn't buy from them anyway. But yeah, kind of mid-range for my brushes. Oh, and fun fact that I just thought about, I have never tried a Morphe brush before. Is that weird? I know they're like kind of like the big name in brushes, and I've never had one. Number 9, high-end or drugstore mascara. I brought over my little mascara mug so we could look. This mug says, "I'm so happy I swiped right." Me and my hubby met on Tinder, so I like that, to have that out as a little reminder. But these mascaras are the ones that I reach for the most, or the ones I am testing out. And when I look at this, there's 3 that speak to me the most. So I have Essence Lash Princess. This is drugstore. I think it's like $5. One of the best mascaras I have ever tried. It lengthens my lashes like none other, and then it also never clumps. If you haven't tried this, I would highly recommend it. The other 2 in here that I love are the Better Than Sex. This is probably my most purchased mascara. I don't even know how many times I bought this mascara. This one I think was $1 more because it has the crystal, so it was $25, but it's $24 normally. And then the other one I love, that's rolling away, the other one I love is Milk Kush. I think this one's like 18, 20, 22. I'll put it down below. So yeah, I have 2 high-end and then 1 drugstore. Still not like super high-end, like $28, $35. I do also have Hourglass in here. So yeah, my answer is both. I feel like I use them in conjunction a lot. I like this mascara paired with this one quite a bit. So both. Don't hate me because I can't answer the question. I like both of them. Number 10, think of your favorite makeup brand. Is it drugstore, high-end, luxury, or indie? I don't have a favorite makeup brand. There's certainly makeup brands that get me more excited. Like if they have a new launch, I'm like, oh, I want to see what that is. Or there's brands that I guess I want to say like have earned my trust. I've bought enough of their products and have liked them enough that they've earned that trust a little bit. Those brands would be Milk, Hourglass, Fenty, and then also ColourPop. ColourPop is the only one that's in that like drugstore affordable kind of category. The rest would all be high end. And even when I look at my collection, I'd say 85% of it is high end. The rest, the 15%, would be indie as well as drugstore. Not as much indie. I always see indie makeup on like not Pinterest, on Instagram as well as on YouTube, and I want to try more of it. The only thing is I really like to see makeup in person a lot of the time, with the exception of some of the things on Sephora. Their pictures are so good, and you can do like those kind of like try on things where it really feels like you are getting a good sense of that makeup product before buying it. That's not always the case when you are looking at indie sites. I do want to try more indie makeup, and I can't even include luxury in this. I can't even think of a cruelty-free luxury brand. Dior, Chanel, none of those. If you can think of one, let me know. But I think overall, even if I can't say a particular brand, that is my favorite. My favorite type of makeup would be high-end. Number 11, considering your answers to these questions, do you think you're bougie? No, I do not. I have something I love, and that is makeup and skincare and hair care and body care and perfume. But anything in the beauty realm is what I collect, and I obviously have a passion for. That's why I'm making videos talking about it. It's my thing. Anything else in my life, like when I look in my closet, I think I have one designer bag and it was a gift to me. The other things I have, I love Betsy Johnson purses, but even those are like $50, $60. They're not made of real leather. And then my shoes, I don't have anything super expensive. I think my Bowie Vans and maybe my Doc Martens were my most expensive shoe purchases. Like, we don't go to fancy dinners. Even my car, like, I don't care. When I was a kid, like when everybody was wearing like the Abercrombie shirts, I just wasn't into it. I think I had a couple of them, but it's never been my thing to be into designer and that kind of stuff. If you are, that's okay. Let me know your answers to these questions. Are you bougie? Do you think I'm bougie? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are a creator, you are tagged, tag your it. All the questions are down below. I would love to see other people do this. Let me know if you do so I can give it a view. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you really enjoyed it. I thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.